Do you want to become a permanent part of the channel? Well, now you can check out the Alliteration Gaming Patreon. Here, you're going to find different tiers that all let you get involved in my videos, as well as provide you some shoutouts, exclusive Discord access, and the ability to see my content early and ad-free. And if you're new here, you're going to need an account on the UGN site to sign up for events, locate stores, and of course, accrue points to redeem for free cards in the mail. Signing up with my exclusive referral code Alliteration is going to start you off with 50 bonus points, as well as support my work in the process. Regardless of how you help me out, thanks so much. I really appreciate your support. Now let's get on to the video. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Sorry, you caught me in the middle of snack time. While you're here though, want to see something cool? Good evening, my dear viewers, and welcome to another Alliteration Gaming video. And today I have something super duper special to show you guys. Jasco Games has been nice enough to grace me with some more exclusive card reveals for Set 5 Undaunted Raid. Yes, your ears are not deceiving you. It is time for the content creators to get back in the saddle and show off some exclusive cards of our own, and they have blessed me with quite the doozy for my very own reveal video. If you could not tell, based on that intro, based on the title and thumbnail, and based off of the hoodie I'm sporting right now, I'm gonna have the honor of giving you guys the very first look at the character card version of the BMI hero, Fat Gum. Yes, Fat Gum is a 5 hand size character with 29 health and the earth, fire, and good symbols. And the first thing you're going to notice is a very peculiar static ability that you're allowed to build Fat Gum 2-dot character cards. Normally in the MHA format of our card game, when you build a character that has any kind of different identity other than your starting one, it just immediately leaves. You can't do it. But Fat Gum is going to allow you to build the second version of himself. Now we're going to get to that in a bit, but we do have to go over what this guy himself does. So his first thing that you're going to see is an enhance that allows him to commit himself to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You get to build any foundation or asset from them and then discard the rest. This is super duper cool. You're going to get to throw your weight around by committing him, and then look at the top 4 for any foundation or asset you want, and then the other cards are going to get burned away. So you're going to stock up, you're going to build up your resources, go and get to tutor out things. I mean, this is just a super strong ability. You're effectively a 6 hand size character. You're getting that extra build every single turn cycle. It's playable during either turn, but it is a commit, so you're only going to get to do it once, of course. But the big thing is that whether you attack or your rival attacks into you, you're going to get that extra build, and you're going to get to kind of speed through your deck. This is a really powerful ability. But the real spice when it comes to this guy is that second ability. First Form. If you're in deadlock or if you have 10 or less health, search all of your game zones, so your deck, your hand, your discard pile you removed from game pile, search any and all of them for a copy of Fat Gum 2-dot and build him. If you search your deck, you then have to shuffle it. Now, what is Fat Gum 2-dot, you ask? Well, my dear viewers, just like in the series, in the anime, in the manga, during the tail end of the Rappa and Tengai fight in the Shieya Saikai raid, when the chips are down, Fat Gum is going to be able to pull out the stops and transform into Fat Gum 2-dot, a 6 hand size character with only 10 health, and of course sporting the same symbols. This guy says that he cannot be your starting character, meaning that the only way to turn into this guy is by being Fat Gum 1, and then your rival goes into deadlock, or you take a bunch of hits and you get yourself all the way down to 10 health. You get to transform into this guy, and he says when you build this card via that first form of Fat Gum, he becomes your starting character. You draw 3 cards, and then you remove all copies of Fat Gum 1. So you're going to effectively be an 8 hand size character that turn. You're going to get your initial 5, you're going to build this guy from somewhere, you're going to get rid of the previous Fat Gum, and then you're going to get to draw 3. That in itself is really strong. And then for the rest of the game, you're a 6 hand size now, so like you really level up once you take enough hits. But man, oh man, that is most certainly not where the fun stops, because this guy says enhance twice per turn. On your turn, you can discard a card from your hand to flip and commit a rival foundation. Target flip, target commit all at the cost of a card in hand. Now, if you were a 5-hand size character like Fat Gum 1, that would be pretty troublesome, but you're a 6-hander now, and you're getting those 3 extra cards on your initial transformation turn, so you're gonna have a ton of fuel to do this ability. This effect is crazy. This effect is nuts. This is literally an ability that says, yeah, I only get to do this once I'm at 10 health, or if you've just gone into deadlock really early. Absolutely, this is the only way. Like, this guy is so cool because he's basically a character card that's allowed to be broken because he's only accessible super late in the game, and I think that is a wonderful way of showing off that transformative late game power up that Fat Gum is really famous for. In addition, he's also got an enhance that lets you remove 2 foundations to get a speed and 3 damage. That's a pretty hefty stat exchange, right? Midoriya 2 discards a card to do that. That's very fair. Removing 2 foundations, now that seems like a hefty cost, but they don't have to be ready foundations. You can remove your committed foundations, meaning once you're like really going in on your rival and you're not really afraid to lose your stage because you plan on winning the game this turn, you get to just slam it all the way home, removing 2 on every attack to just super duper pump them up while you're selectively committing and flipping all of their best defensive pieces. Too cool. This guy is too cool. I like that he removes the foundations as well, because it kind of has that whole, like, you know, burning your cards away, burning your calories away, kind of how like they reflected that with Sato 1. I think it's really cool that like this is how they chose to reflect him, you know, eating and then like shedding his fat, right? It kind of sounds gross when I say it that way, right? But I do think it's very flavorful, and not to mention it's going to be a ton of fun to play. But guys, we have a lot more to talk about. That is not it. I am not here just to tell you about Fat Gum. I'm also going to tell you about most of his kit. Kicking things off with his ultra rare, and it's going to be BMI Buster. I like that alliteration. Maybe that's why they gave me this guy's kit, huh? BMI Buster is a 3 high for 4 diff with a beautiful +1 mid block, but even more beautiful on it is Fat Gum Breaker 2. Holy cow. It's a powerful set of words right there. Already makes me want to sleeve up this guy. But even more so is a really sick response that's going to let you flip it and remove one of your foundations to cancel action abilities. This is a really handy ability. It's certainly like the secondary part of this card, but definitely nothing to scoff at. I think this card is going to be a really big sideboard card for a lot of these symbols as well. More importantly though, look at that enhance. Remove 2 of your momentum, build the top 2 cards of your deck, and draw 2 cards. That's actually nuts. That is actually nuts. On 3 symbols that have access to a hefty amount of throws, this is really good. Like Earth has so many throws. Fire only has like 1 or 2 throws, but they also have Muscle Rush. Earth also has Muscle Rush. Good has a couple throws. This is so easy to fuel, and just trading 2 momentum for building 2 and drawing 2, that is crazy daisy. Tons of characters are gonna love this card. Cementos is probably going to adore this card. Yeah, this is certainly an ultra rare right here. A little bit more of a Fat Gum card, but I think we're going to see this thing sleeved up in a lot of different decks. Next up, let's take a look at Calorie Counter, a very massive 6 diff. However, if they block your previous attack, it's going to go all the way down to a 3 diff and become a 5 mid for 6. That's actually terrifying. Holy cow, this thing becomes so cheap and so big. On top of that, you're gonna have to deal with enhance. If this attack is blocked, you gain 2 health and get to target flip a rival foundation. Wow, that is, I mean, that's just such a strong ability. That is such a strong ability. It's got 2 very relevant keywords. This is a Fury on Earth and Fire, wildly relevant. This is a Punch on like Earth and Good, also wildly relevant. It's got a beautiful +2 low block as well. This thing is sick. Like at some point you are just gonna have to block, and turning on this card is just gonna be such a nuisance to deal with. And then you're gonna get punished even more if you want to block this one. Yeah, this guy's gonna be hard to fight. This guy's gonna be hard to fight, and a lot of decks that choose to utilize this card are gonna be a pain to deal with. Next up, see, I was speaking about throws earlier. Let's take a look at Fat Grapple. Holy cow, I love this art. I absolutely adore this art. Literally ensnared. But guys, this is a 2 mid for 1 throw. However, asterisk, it gets +1 damage for every ready foundation you have at max 7. So best case scenario, it's going to be a 2 mid for 8 throw that you can then pump even more damage on, which is kind of sick. Like Good and Earth do have really good options for throws. However, Fire does not have a ton of them. So I think Fire decks that want to play a throw are really going to love this. You know, guys that really want that momentum like All Might 2, and of course Fat Gum himself, right, is going to love this as well. Being able to build really hardcore just off the back of like Earth and Good symbol things, and then getting to pump this up really nicely. It's also just got a super duper sick deadlock that pumps your next one by 5 speed. That's just a really massive pump. Big Appetite. This is a 2 diff with a +2 low block. Already very beautiful, especially for the Earth and Fire symbols. It is so hard for those guys to find low blocks that are not +3s, especially on their foundations. But as far as its abilities go, this just says flip, draw 1, discard 1, unless your hand size is less than them. So when you're playing 5 hand size characters and you're fighting anyone that's not a 5-hander, this is just going to be flip to draw 1. That's fantastic. Even when it's draw 1, discard 1, that's not terrible, especially if you're Fat Gum, because you've got a Fat Gum enhance that lets you remove the top of your deck to get +1 speed if you remove a foundation. I mean, this is basically a win-win, right? You're going to remove a foundation and get a speed for free, or if you remove an attack, you got a bad check off the top of your deck. This is super duper sick. And once again, we see that theme of Fat Gum removing cards, right? Burning away the calories, shedding away the fat. I love it. Next, we're going to look at his 3 diff 4-check unique rare foundation. Whole lot of stipulations. This thing's got to be doing something crazy, right? You're not too far off. Once per attack response, you get to commit a foundation to reduce any damage bonus that your rival gives by 2, minimum 0. So you just can't make them minus their own attacks if they go like +1 damage, right? This is pretty good. There's gonna be a lot of scenarios where this is just gonna be that thing that really keeps you alive, especially when you want to be taking like really minimal damage. Fat Gum is a character that wants to block sparingly. A character all about his damage thresholds, gonna be really important. And then aggressively, anytime that your rival interacts with your attack stat-wise, you get to just remove this for 3 speed or 3 damage. That's pretty darn strong. That's a very nice, like kind of almost like a cancel, all right? Almost like a cancel. You're still gonna take the whatever the penalty is, but you're gonna get +3 in the process somehow. There's gonna be a lot of times where this is just sitting on your board and your rival's not gonna be able to like touch your attack speed-wise or damage-wise or something, because you might just make it unblockable or lethal with this, and it's gonna create some very interesting back and forths. And then the last card that we're going to look at is the Strength of a Pro. It's a 2/5 and a +3 high block, and it just says flip, if you have 3 or fewer ready foundations, this gets -3 speed. We actually saw this exact ability get teased in the designer article that Tim Freely put out the other day, as well as, I guess, maybe the transformative character. This is just flip for -3 speed on Earth and Fire. That's extremely good. Those guys really struggle for some speed hate, so this is a fantastic card for them to get. And then when you have 10 or less health, you can remove this to gain 2 health, playable while committed. That is a very sick ability. I really like that you can kind of, you know, the one crux of becoming Fat Gum 2 is you're now 10 health max. It kind of lets you play around with that health condition a lot, and that's going to be a really important thing when you're constructing your Fat Gum decks. And so that's going to put a wrap on our Fat Gum reveal video. Thank you so much to Jasco for letting me reveal this guy and a ton of his support cards as well. This was super duper fun to do, and I'm really excited to see this character pull some weight around once Undaunted Raid drops very soon. If y'all are really into this kit, please let me know down in the comment section below what you guys really like, what y'all are super excited about in set 5. I think there's a lot of hype coming in. The Yakuza Raid is a lot of people's favorite arcs. It's very much up there for me. There's a ton of awesome stuff coming with this wave of support, and our card pool is only going to get that much bigger and that much cooler. With that being said, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you want to support the channel just like Jasco did with these super duper sick reveals, you can hit the join button to become a channel member, and I do have my Patreon linked down below if you want to get into some custom commission content with me. Above all else though, thanks just for making it to the end of this video. That's all the time I have for today, but I hope I can see you in the next one.